Once, in an enchanted forest, there lived a young woman named Alina. She was known for her beauty, which many said was as radiant as the moon itself. Her skin glowed with the light of dawn, and her eyes were as clear as the rivers that flowed through the valley. Yet, despite her outer beauty, Alina was poor. She had no family left to speak of, and her only possession was a small cottage at the edge of the village. This cottage, though quaint, barely provided her with enough to survive. Alina had always worked hard, but as the seasons passed, the land grew more barren. The crops she planted refused to grow, and the forest bounty, once abundant, had begun to fade. She had no choice but to sell the only thing of value she had, her beauty. But what price could be set on something so rare, so powerful? One evening, as Alina walked through the village square, a well-dressed merchant approached her. His eyes gleamed with interest. "Fair maiden," he said, bowing deeply. "I have heard of your beauty. I would like to offer you a proposition." Alina, weary from years of struggle, felt a pang of desperation. "What kind of proposition?" she asked, though she already feared what it might be. The merchant smiled, his teeth sharp and white. "I will pay you handsomely if you agree to spend the night with me. I will give you gold, enough to last a lifetime." Alina looked at the man, his polished appearance hiding the darkness in his eyes. For a moment, she hesitated. She knew the consequences of what he was asking. But the weight of hunger and poverty pressed down on her heart. With a deep sigh, Alina agreed, taking the gold the merchant offered her. That night, as the stars shone brightly in the sky, she entered his lavish tent, feeling as though a part of her soul was already being sold. She performed the task, and in return, she received a chest filled with gold coins. The next morning, as the merchant departed, Alina found herself in a daze, staring at the pile of riches in her hands. But as she stood there, feeling both triumphant and empty, a strange sensation washed over her. The ground beneath her feet began to tremble, and a voice like the wind, yet deep as the mountains, echoed in her ears. "You have chosen to sell your body for gold, Alina. But remember, there is a price to everything. What you give away, you may never reclaim." The voice faded, leaving her with a gnawing emptiness she could not explain. As the days passed, Alina found that no matter how much gold she had, the hunger in her soul only grew. It was not hunger for food or wealth, but for something deeper, something she couldn't name. Her heart felt heavy, as though a part of her had been taken. One morning, Alina awoke to find the gold chest missing. In its place was a letter, written in a strange, flowing script. "The price has been paid. You have sold what was yours, and now you must face the consequence. But fear not, for redemption is near. If you seek it, follow the path into the forest. But be warned, you will not return the same." With trembling hands, Alina packed a small bag, leaving behind the cottage and all its comforts. She entered the forest, unsure of what awaited her. The trees whispered as she passed, their branches twisting like fingers reaching for the sky. The deeper she went, the more the air seemed to hum with a strange energy. After hours of walking, Alina came upon a clearing. In the center stood a woman, old, yet ageless, her skin the color of bark and her hair woven with leaves and vines. She held a staff carved with intricate symbols. "You have come," the woman said, her voice like the rustling of leaves in the wind. "I knew you would. You have sold your body, and now you seek what you have lost. But remember, Alina, you cannot reclaim what you have given away. You must give of yourself in another way, if you wish to find peace." What must I do? Alina asked, desperate. "You must give not your body, but your heart. You must serve the world, not for gold, but for love. You must lift others up, not for reward, but for the joy of seeing them rise." Alina thought of the merchant, of the gold, of the emptiness that had filled her after the trade. She realized the woman was right. Her soul had been hollowed out by what she had chosen to give. "I understand," Alina said, her voice trembling but resolute. "I will serve. I will give what I have left to others." The woman nodded and smiled, her eyes filled with understanding. "Then go, Alina. And let your heart guide you. Alina turned, and as she walked out of the clearing, something inside her shifted. The weight on her chest began to lift. She knew that she had a long journey ahead of her, but now, for the first time in many years, she felt a flicker of hope. 4 years after that day, Alina traveled far and wide. She helped those in need, offering kindness and aid wherever she could. She built schools for children, cared for the sick, and fed the hungry. Slowly, the emptiness that had once consumed her began to fade. And as the years passed, Alina became known not for her beauty, but for her kindness and wisdom. One day, many years later, as an old woman, Alina returned to the village where she had once lived. Her cottage had long since fallen into ruin, but in its place stood a thriving community. People greeted her with respect, their eyes shining with gratitude. And though the gold she had once been given had long since turned to dust, Alina had found something far more precious: peace. The lesson of her life spread throughout the land, that true wealth does not come from gold or silver, but from the heart. What we give away, we may not always reclaim, but when we give of ourselves in love and service, we find a treasure that is far greater than anything we could ever hold in our hands. And so, the story of Alina, the woman who sold her body but found her soul, became a tale that mothers told their children, a reminder that the choices we make shape who we are, and that love is the only thing worth giving away without regret. Moral of the story: true fulfillment comes not from what we possess or what we give away in exchange for material wealth, but from the love and service we offer others. What is given from the heart is what truly enriches the soul. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Emmanuel Stories TV for more captivating folktales that will open your heart and mind.